What's up, everyone? It's Matt Mrozik, and this is work in progress number, let's see, 1, 2, is this 3 or 4 on this kit? Maybe 4, I'm not sure. So if you follow me on Facebook, you see that the pre-build of the kit is done. Everything's been cleaned up, all the parts of gates have been removed, mold lines have been removed. What little pinning was needed, I've done. There's a total of, I think, 8 pins in the entire kit. Maybe 10, and 2 of them I really don't even need. I just have them in there as temporary holds for now. They're actually in these 2 parts right here, but those get magnets later. But I have some pins in there just to hold the kit together. So right now some things are falling off because they're not attached, like these fins on the side of the head are falling out because they're not glued in. But he fit together really well. He's looking, his head's turned right now because the motors haven't been activated at all, and that's the way he sits on there right now. So he's looking, man, this is a nice kit. As I was doing for the article I'm doing, the pinning part was kind of hard because I really didn't need any pins. They only needed a few, so I did what I could as far as showing pinning because it's a major part of resin kit building. The motors are all in because otherwise it doesn't go together, and it's, it wasn't, I want to say it was easy, but it wasn't hard to get them together. Again, just have to follow the directions and just kind of, there are a few areas where the instructions aren't very clear, in particular in the head here, how things go together. So it took me a few tries of, oh, that's not how it goes. Took it apart, did it again. So he's looking really good. Also down here at the bottom, so I'm going to take this off the tripod just for a second. This area in particular down here, all this mechanism right here, was a little bit unclear in the instructions, so I had to refer to photos on the website to see how these 3 pieces all go together. So that took a little bit of time down there, which wasn't too bad. But it's interesting how this all works. So once the motors activate, there's one of the things that it spins down. It just spins. And or not spins, it pushes out, which in turn pushes a piston in here, which opens up this part of the it's not going to do it right now because the motor isn't working, which pushes this hatch open. This little clear part pushes up a little bit. There's a part down here that lights up and pushes out. So it's kind of the engineering is actually really clever on these guys, because the way they have it engineered is one motion of a motor will do several things as far as making it move and light up. So I probably won't tear it down in this video. I just want to show you what it looks like all built. I'm going to be right back. I've had some people for size comparison photos, and since I'm here, I'm going to throw a master grade in there and show you what that is. So give me 1 second to go get one. All right, so my bench is a little messy, obviously, so I'm working, but here is a Sazabi Verka, my Shar's Crush kit. I'm gonna get some stuff out of the way because I don't want to damage him. He's one of my favorite builds. So yeah, these are a good size. So that's the size of a master grade next to him. A rather large master grade at that. So that gives you an idea. And I kind of lied. I said I've never done a 1/44. I have a little bit, but I've never finished it. And it's a sniper, a GM sniper, or not a GM sniper, a Zaku sniper. And there's that as a comparison. So we have a 1/44 Zaku sniper and a 1/100th scale master grade kit next to it. Yeah, so he wants to lean over because that shield, but yeah, big guy. I think it's a foot tall. Is that right? Let's see. Right to the top of the head, it looks about 14 inches. So, and that's on this little base. So it's actually more like 13 inches, a little over 13 inches tall. So good size. He's a hefty piece. So this video is really just kind of show you the pre-built, and I'm starting to do some soldering on the wiring, trying to get a head start on that. And as I mentioned before in several videos, I'm not an electrician. I'm not very good at soldering, but luckily we have the internet and YouTube and Facebook. So just through some advice from people on Facebook and watching some tutorials on YouTube, I'm doing some soldering. Let me get this Sozabi out of the way so I don't destroy him. Do not want to melt Char's crush. That'd be upsetting. The sniper I'm not too worried about. He's been snapped together for years. He's got some paint, but that's all I've done. Okay, so what I've been working on, and I did a few of these before I did a video, is this piece of the wiring right here. And this is what's going to go into the base, not the base, the post. Well, I can't show you because the head's on there. Actually, I can. I'll take the head off. So when this is all done, these are going to fall out when I move the head. So I'm just going to take them off. The head part will come off as a piece like that. So for transport, this will come off. I'm going to put that aside. I still need to take pictures of this as the pre-build done for my article, so I'm not going to tear. I don't want to tear them down for this video, unfortunately, guys. So sorry. Sorry. I'm trying to put that away so I don't destroy it. Get these pieces out of the way. And by the way, I've got a lot of really nice compliments from people on my YouTube channel, and I really appreciate that. Because these videos are down and dirty, guys. There's no production value whatsoever. So hopefully by watching me screw up a lot, you can learn something. Because I screw up a lot. And this will unplug from there. So it'll actually travel in 3 pieces. So this can go right here. Oh, so while I have this off, I can actually move this around and show it to you a little bit. I'm going to take this off because it's going to fall off. So here is the main, they call it the collar. And for the most part, everything on here won't fall off. There's a few little things that I could pin, but I'm not going to. They'll just get glued on later, like this little detail piece. Actually, no, I do have a pin in there. These little pistons will just get glued on later, but this all screws together. It's done very, very well. I'm contemplating replacing these screws with pins later because I'm afraid over time that as this moves back and forth, those screws will loosen. So I may just replace those with some brass rod. But the detail on this thing is really insane. It's really, really cool. That's just going to go. That'll get glued in later. Actually, this gets glued and there's a magnet that goes in there later. But and there's a piston detail up here that I haven't put in because that'll just get glued on later. But really nice detail. I was having a hard time trying to figure out how this part down here worked, which is one of the more complicated areas. I thought that I thought this part spun, which would cause this like a screw action to move this. What actually happens when the motor turns on, this lights up and it just pushes out. There's no spinning motion as far as I can tell, which activates all this mechanism down here, which, like I said, in turn, it pushes this piston up, pushes this open, and this little clear piece will have an LED and it opens up. I believe that's a color changing LED. So really nicely done. You can see where I rescribed, and the sanding dust is kind of collected in the scribe lines, which I like that look. They'll show up nice for the photos I'm going to do later of this pre-build. I went over, also I didn't do it in this work in progress because I've done it several times, but cleaning up bevels where they kind of get messed up, where you color it in and scrape it off with the razor blade. You know, pretty simple techniques, but really important when you're working with resin. So yeah, this thing's heavy. I mean, he's not a light guy, but really cool. Probably one of my favorite busts that they've done so far. This Sozabi is really killer, but this one I just really like. A lot of cool details. So I'm just gonna put that to the side, and I'm gonna do a little soldering for you. Now, full disclosure, this is not a tutorial on soldering because, like I said, I'm not very good at it, but I'm learning. But again, you can learn from me learning, which is always good, I think. So like I was saying, this part that I'm wiring right now, and nothing but high production value on MVM397's YouTube channel. I hit the damn stop button. So the part I'm working on right now is the main, I guess, plug. So this is where the main collar will plug into here, and it goes through this right here, which goes later into the base. So I've done quite a few of these already, and Seems like my light's really low for some reason. So just going slow, soldering, you know, heat shrinking everything. So we got nice clean connections and nothing's gonna touch. I bought myself a decent soldering iron. It's not like a great soldering iron. I spent like 30 bucks on it, but it's better than all these little cheapy pencil ones I've been buying. I've got like 3 or 4 of them. They're all trash. This has a variable temperature on it. I've got a little stand over here for cleaning. It comes with a bunch of tips. So it's on Amazon. I had good reviews for 30 bucks. It's like, why not? Since I've got to do quite a bit of wiring. So the diagram that I'm going off right now is this guy right here. So I've done everything except for 9 and 10, so I'll do those on camera. And hopefully I won't screw up because I've actually been doing pretty good. Got my super duper little handy, you know, second hand tool here. And I'm not sure how close I'll be able to get with my phone because I record my phone, but we'll see. So, you know, just kind of working around, keeping that to the side. So the next color I'm going to put in, or the next number on the diagram, is number 9. Number 9, which is the white wire. So we're going to do that. So I have a wire stripping tool, but I found that with these really thin wires, it's too aggressive. So I've just been, even on the smallest setting, the wire cutters, I have just cut the wire. So I've been using my fingernails and just pulling it off, and it's perfect. I pull the covering off, but no wire. So like that, and then we're gonna give it a twist. Nice tight twist. Again, this is not a tutorial. This is just me repeating what I found on YouTube and some advice from friends. So I've got my soldering iron, it's nice and hot. What I have it set at right now is roughly 350 degrees Celsius, which seems to be like for this solder, what I'm doing seems like the ideal temperature. It melts relatively quickly and it doesn't get things too hot too fast. So let's see if this will stay focused. I'm not sure. Okay, so I've got a little solder already on my tip of my iron, or it's called tinning, which I found out, which is something new. I'm gonna put a little bit more on there, and now I'm just gonna touch it to the wire. Again, this may not focus, guys, because I'm on my camera. It's gonna want to focus on my workbench, so bear with me. So it's gonna be out of focus, but I'll just describe. So I'm just gonna touch this to my wire and then put solder on the other side, and it just flows right into the wire perfectly. So now I've got solder on my wire. You can see how shiny it is. Okay, so now we've got that. What I found has worked best for this little doohickey is clean off the excess solder on my iron. Get too much. Is I put a little bit of solder on my iron, just a little bit. And then what I do is I go in here and I kind of fill in. The way this is designed is actually pretty clever. I don't know if you can see it, but there's you can kind of see like there's a little channel in there for the wire to go in. So what I've been doing is I've been just filling that channel with solder. Like that. I'm not sure if you can probably. So there's a little bit of solder in there now. Actually, I don't know if I can. I don't know if there is. Nope, I'm gonna do a little bit more. Didn't get quite in there all the way. So I've been filling that channel. It's hard. I'm trying to do this through my phone, and I've been using my app divisor, which I don't use very often because this is pretty. So I just fill that channel with a little bit of solder. So now when I go put that wire in there, I just heat that solder up and slide the wire right in, and it's been working pretty good. And it's actually clean. It doesn't look all sloppy. You should see my soldering jobs on the the other heads I've done. It's terrible. Like there's all sorts of tape and stuff inside. So let's see if we can do this on the camera. Actually, take my optivisor off so I can get closer. So now what I'm going to do is I got solder on the wire. I've got solder in that channel. Again, this is probably not going to focus on here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically lay the wire right on top where that channel goes. And I'm going to heat up that solder and just give it a little push. And there you go. It's done. And it went right into that channel. So now I've got a good connection down in there. That's not going to come out. And I've got my heat shrink over here. I'm using 1/16 size heat shrink. And I started cutting them at the beginning. I was cutting them relatively short, but now I'm going to cut them a little bit longer. I feel like I have a better, help secure it better. So we're going to do that. Let's make sure I got that in the right spot, just to be sure before I do that. Number 9. And there are numbers on this thing. They're really hard to see, but they're there. Yeah, number 9. Okay. There's little numbers engraved on this doohickey, which is very nice. I'm going to slide some heat shrink over there. Now, this being 1/16, it doesn't take a whole lot of heat. I'm just using my hair dryer. You don't need a heat gun. You'll just melt everything. Just a hair dryer. My phone's jacking. Let's try that again. My phone, man, I need to get something other than my phone. Just a hair dryer. And I just heat it up till it looks like it doesn't want to shrink anymore. The problem is my hand gets hot. That looks pretty good. And then we got one more of the little guys. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big piece of heat shrink around this whole thing. Just because I don't want less chance of the wires coming apart. And the last color is brown. It's really not brown, it's like a rusty red, which is kind of hard because we have a red and an orange wire, so hopefully I'll be able to tell those apart. Again, I'm just going to use my fingers here to strip it because it's really thin. Just like that. Give it a twist. Little helping hands here. Got my iron, it's got a little bit of solder on it. Yeah, we're just gonna fill that wire with solder, just like that. Not too much. So what I've learned on what I've been doing wrong in all the other times I've soldered, I always try to put too much on. It's all gloppy and messy. You know. I've always been like, as long as I get power and have a connection, I'm okay. But it's not the way to do it. Okay, again, I'm gonna take this little guy here. I'm not gonna try to zoom in; it's too hard on this phone. I'm gonna put a little solder on my iron. I'm gonna fill that channel with some solder. Like the first few wires I did were not the prettiest, and then I kind of got a system down. Okay, so now we got that channel full of solder, and then the hard part is getting the tip in there with all the other wires without touching anything else and melting it. So now I'm just gonna again push it down to that channel, and we're good. Just smooth it out a little bit with the iron, just so the shrink wrap slides nicely over it. Heat shrink. Here we go. get ourselves a nice piece of heat shrink here. So this right here isn't hard. It's just, again, like anything else I say, it's not really hard. It's just time consuming. I'll have some questions later when I start getting into the diagram, because it looks like they have some positive wires going to negative wires and stuff, and that doesn't make sense to me. So okay, so now that's all wired up according to the diagram. Not too bad for a pole lock. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a larger piece of heat shrink, and I want to shrink that up around there, because that's a sharp edge and I don't want a chance of it. I'm doing this off of camera right now just because I need to be able to thread stuff through. Let's get that out of the way. That's probably all I'm going to do tonight. I'm not going to do a whole lot of work tonight. I've had a major migraine all day. I don't know if any of you get migraines, but man, I used to get them every day around 3 o'clock until I started wearing glasses. That's like really helped. So I've been doing that for the past 9 years or so. But every once in a while I get them, but when I do, they do not want to go away. So now I'm just going to take a bigger size, and this is, for anyone who cares, this is a 1/4 inch. And I want to basically, I don't really need to cover all that up, but what I'll probably do is do this, and then I'll wrap it with some electrical tape. But I want this to be real nice and secure. You can see this hairdryer is hot enough to do this big piece of shrink wrap. I do own a heat gun. It's just downstairs in the garage. I'm going to do it long enough, eventually it'll shrink down. Just going slow right now. I think I would like to rotate it somewhere. Oh, dude. Yeah, it's starting to go down. I'm trying to right up to the hairdryer. So again, what I thought was going to be a short video is now going on 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so. That's pretty much it. So then that, I really wish it was this, I'll probably get a heat gun later and really get this to shrink down more. I really like this nice and tight. And this may just not shrink down anymore. I probably could have gone with a smaller piece on top of it instead of 1/4 inch. Let me see what I have. I'm actually 3/16. Actually, let me switch this out. I think we're going to do that. So I'm going to take this off because it's not really that tight. I'll take that off. I want something to, because this is getting really hot. I actually would like that tighter. Let's see how tall is that. No, we'll just leave this nice and long. Okay, so we're gonna go with 3/16. I think 1/8 would be too small. We'll be able to get the wires through it. Come on. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So I made this nice and long. This should work better. I know this isn't very exciting watching me heat shrink things, but it's part of the process. Oh, another good news is that my stuff from Ammo has shipped. Unfortunately, he's not sure if he can provide me a tracking number because I guess it ships from their warehouse and it's not like really a customer order. So I'm expecting it to arrive. Hopefully, I'm not sure which service they shipped it as. But hopefully I'll get here. I'll be out of town next week and then having a shift to work, so I would expect it to be there by the time I get back from 4th of July vacation. So they're sending me primers and everything, and I'm not sure if I'm real comfortable using their primer for this build, just because I'm not familiar with it. So I'll probably do some testing on some spoons just to try it out. Particularly with this kit having moving parts. I think I need to stick with Mr. Surfacer and a real nice, lacquer based primer. And for this build in particular, I'm not going to do what I typically do, like with the Krylon, because I'm not sure if they can get Krylon all over the world. I'm just going to stick with the Mr. Surfacer because I know they can get that. Alright, so this seems like it's doing pretty good. I should have shrink down more right there. There we go. Okay, sorry. That was loud and took a while. But now we have this nicely heat shrink wrap tail. And this is all solidly soldered to this port, and then this will, let's see, does it screw in somehow? Let's see if I have this going in there. Yeah, so this is going to go in here. Now, there is somewhere, this piece, number 12, this, but this looks like, Okay. Looks like that just kind of sits in there. Flush. It may get glued, I'm not sure. What the look? Does this do this? I think maybe this comes in like this. Yeah. So this resin piece is kind of like holds that in place, I think. Pull those through. This will go in. This will go in. Something like that. I think this, I just need to push that down. And then this will go into the base. And I've got a few pieces just kind of, oh wait, uh-oh. What color is that? Okay, so I did do a boo-boo. I'll have to go back and fix it. Okay, I got one of the wrong color wires in there. No big deal. So this will just go into the base like this. Like so. And then that will keep this from rubbing and getting pulled off. So yeah, that's it. So that's it for this short, long video again. But as always, thanks for watching. It's Matt Mrozik, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.